We're here with James Young at the Sonic Distribution headquarters in Hitchin, Hertfordshire. And he's got with him a new microphone for digital SLR cameras. Mm-hmm. So talk us through it. Why are you making this microphone and who's it for?
Well, it's for DSLR camera mic owners and for video people that want to do video, and they don't want to use the internal mic on either the camcorder or the DSLR camera, because generally these companies are focused on the video side of things or the picture taking, and they don't really think too much about the audio. It's kind of like an afterthought add-on. But more and more people are using DSLR cameras, which are ultra high quality, to actually shoot film with. Some fairly serious films have been shot with DSLR cameras, and so they want, both for broadcasters, for people doing OB, for people doing interview pieces, for people shooting films, everything. They want a decent quality microphone on the camera.
So this is your offering then to the market, is it? To take that to the next level of sound quality?
There have been a couple of mic companies that have gone into the camera mic market and have been there for a few years now. Rode, Sennheiser. Yeah. There are a few players out there. And we kept being asked by customers and distributors and dealers, constantly, when are you going to bring out camera mics? When are you going to bring out camera mics? And we were very, very focused on our core business, which is just making the best handcrafted studio condenser microphones, we think, in the world. We poured our heart and soul into that for 12 years now. But there was clearly a growing need for somebody to go into that market and address it in from our perspective in a more serious manner. I think the other brands out there very clearly and cleverly identified, there's a group of people out there that want a mic that's better than their internal camera mic. Let's build something. And they produce some very good retail, customer-friendly products. But we didn't just want to, with all the products that we do, we're not really interested in kind of being also RANs or doing that mass production thing. All of our condenser mics are hand-built, for example. And yet we compete at the same kind of price points that the mass automated producers. And we didn't want to go into the camera mic market unless we could really add value. We're not set up either, to be honest with you, to go and do that whole big corporate mass production thing. We're a more boutique-y company, a bit more like Neumann or Gefell in that sense.
Right.
So it took us quite a while to get on that particular bandwagon, and we had to know that what we were going to produce had something seriously good to offer over the competition.
So what is it about your mic then that you think is an improvement on current technology?
We've approached it from a pro audio point of view, right, rather than from a consumer that doesn't really know audio point of view. If you think about somebody that's using DSLR cameras and they can just buy anything which is going to make their camera sound better, they're happy. But if you're an audio guy and you listen to some of the stuff that's out there at the moment, whilst it is a big jump up from what's inside the cameras, it's not pro audio, that's for sure. And so we've taken our cues more from broadcast shotgun mics, and to produce something which is a more natural sound. The problem with the mics that we found that are out there is that they do that kind of smiley face thing. So they've got an unnatural bass lift on them to make them sound like it's more produced. Yeah. They've got rolled off high frequency to kind of cut down on the noise levels, all that kind of stuff. And of course that's okay if you're doing family videos and you don't want to do any editing afterwards. But again, more and more people want to edit video, they want to edit audio, and if you want to apply EQ to or you want to apply a little effect or something onto that, the more coloured the microphone is in an unnatural way, the more difficult it is to do that stuff. I mean, we know that from years of producing condenser microphones. So it's really important for us to do a pro-sounding mic.
So what's so special about this mic then?
Well, here it is. Let's take this off so you can actually see the barrel of it. I mean, if you take apart any of the other mics that are on the market, and just compare build quality, first of all, you'll see an immediate difference. This is built like a professional broadcast microphone. It's got a metal sheath on it, so rather than just being a plastic moulded thing, so it's much more durable. We've put a lot of attention to detail into the build quality of the shock mount as well. So we're using professional standard shock mounts, and they're engineered in-house. They're our own ones. They're not OEM ones or third-party ones. Yeah. So we've actually developed these ourselves. And to anybody that knows the broadcast market, it looks like a proper shotgun mic as well, and it is. One of the really important things about these mics is that they're lightweight, and I mean you can't tell that obviously from there. But if I put this in your hand, You'll see that is...
Yeah, it's surprisingly light.
It's very lightweight, and that's because of the materials we've used. I mean, it is a plastic shock mount because that's the only way you can really mass produce these things and make them lightweight. But the chassis is aluminium, which is more expensive to make. But it keeps the weight down. Yeah, the other thing about this mic is that it's much more sensitive than the other camera mics that are on the market. And that's really important because if you have something which is low sensitivity and then boost it, which is what the other mics do, then what you do is you increase the noise floor.
Yeah.
You have low sensitivity as a starting point because it's easier to do. It's easier to make it that way. And then you boost it if the camera's got needs the boost to get the volume out of the microphone. But again, if you boost something which has got noise floor already in it, then you're increasing the noise floor.
Sure.
So to come at it from a professional standpoint, you want to actually have as high a level as you can manage of output for most cameras, and then if it's too much for other cameras, you want to cut it, because that way you're keeping the noise floor as low as possible. So this is more sensitive, and it's got a 10 dB pad on it, so you can cut.
You can bring it down.
There are other mics on the market that are more expensive than this, that have boost switches on them, in order to kind of do the opposite. But the entry-level mics that are out there, and this is an entry-level price point mic, they don't have this kind of feature set. It's battery operated as well, so you can turn this on and off.
So presumably that takes a battery in the back there,
Yeah,
does
it's
it?
an AA battery in the back there. Very simple. Plug in and play. Very, very simple device. And this is the entry level of a whole range of products that we're bringing out. This is going to be shipping at the end of June.
Right.
And it's going to retail at £99 in VAT. So if you look at the competition, it's not the cheapest, but it's a lot better than the cheapest, and it's nowhere near the most expensive. I mean, the top end of the entry-level products is £150 to £160, and this is 99 quid retail.
That's not bad, yeah.
It's very, very good, and it's a professional mic. It's not, a toy.
So you talked about the other products in this new range. So
Yeah.
what else do you have for us?
This is where it gets really exciting. I mean, this is a step up. But it's not exactly new technology. This is definitely new technology, and I think this is going to open a lot of eyes and ears. So. This is a prototype that you're seeing here. I mean, the product is it's almost production ready. The product will be shipping in the next 2.5 to 3 months, so you're getting a very early sneak peek at this. This is a much more pro level, but it's still pretty small and lightweight relatively. So you notice, first of all, it's got the same shotgun mic on the front here, but it's also got this big battery pack. And the reason for having that, apart from for powering the whole thing, because there's more microphones in this, as you'll see in a minute, is so that you can have more feature sets. So you've got a 10 and 20 dB pad in there. You've got 16 120 hertz cut. You've got an on-off switch on there, and you have 2 channels on here as well, 2 separate discrete channels, each with their own mix control. You've got an output, which will give you dual mono output, and you have headphone socket as well, so you can monitor. It's got an inbuilt shock mount as well, so you haven't got a...
Oh, okay.
So it's a really cool shock mounting system. This is the exciting bit, because some of this stuff is pretty, matter of fact to do. It's just you've got to come up with the idea of doing it. But this, which is another removable capsule, which is the next important thing, this is a figure of 8 or omni capsule. We figure that most people will probably want to use the figure of 8, and the thing about that is it gives you directional stuff and it gives you left and right, so you can do MS recording with this. Yeah, so it's a truly professional product. You can take this out. You can either buy it as an accessory, you can buy this whole thing, or you can buy a different version. 3 different versions, in fact.
Right.
This one is our ray gun. It's called X-Ray, and this is an XY microphone. Now, you wouldn't use the XY and the shotgun at the same time.
No.
This is there as an accessory, or for people that want to do either or, because of course XY recording is something that you want to do if you're doing close miking and you want to get a really good stereo image. And shotgun miking is completely the opposite, mono, distance, directional.
Yeah.
But the idea of this is that you've got both professional uses in one, so you can switch from one to the other, and this will give you dual mono output. So that's our XY feature. We're also doing an AB version of this as well, which is really pretty cool as well.
So what's the AB about then?
The AB is more. It's the kind of thing that you'd use, for example, if you wanted to record a concert from the back of a concert hall. It will give you a good wide stereo field distance recording.
Okay.
It's more of a pro application, but the idea of this is that it will suit anybody. I mean, if you think about the XY, this is the kind of thing that's going to give you if you're recording your kids play at school, for example, then you can pick up on the voice of your kid when they're doing their parts, but you've also got all of the ambient stuff going on around, which you can now mix in and blend in the background. Okay. So you can get a true representation of what it was like to be there, rather than just your kind of family camcorder type thing. And nobody else has done this kind of stuff before at all. It's very unique. So we're pretty excited about bringing these out. Very excited, actually.
So how much are these going to cost, and how much do the different accessories cost?
To be confirmed.
Right, okay.
The individual capsules are going to be around about the £99 price point. I think when you buy the whole thing as a one-stop shop like this, we're thinking at the moment it's going to be around about £250 retail. So that's in line with, it's a little bit more expensive than what the other brands are calling their kind of, professional level camera microphones. But their professional level camera mics don't do any of this stuff at all. They're just a kind of step up on a very simple back electret. So we think we've got a winner on our hands here. This is really taking things to a whole new level in the DSLR market.
Very interesting. Well, thanks very much, James.
Thank you.